Hey, thanks for joining us on another Sandia Mountain Natural History Center quick trip. Today, we're in the Caldera National Preserve, a gem up here in the Jemez Mountains that can be experienced by car, by bike, and by foot. And today we're going to do it all. Let's go ahead and get started. So this is the Caldera. About 1.2 million years ago, this erupted, and parts of this, like rocks and ash and all, have been found as far east as Kansas. At least that's what I've been told. So I'm not sure if you want to quote me on that, but it was a massive eruption. And while this is a dormant volcano, it is not extinct. We still see resurgent domes and things coming up. And at some point in the future, but hopefully not today, this will erupt again. This caldera has some pretty interesting ties, believe it or not, to NASA. Astronauts for the Apollo missions in the early 70s came here to study the rocks so they would know more about geology and what they expected to see on the moon. And also, this caldera is so large that it's often used as a marker from space to reference things on Earth. That's how big it is. In recent years, there's been a few pretty devastating fires here in the Caldera, fires like the Los Conchas fire. But as devastating as those fires were, they have given scientists an opportunity to do some really unique research, looking at areas that are burned and unburned, looking at areas before they were burned and then have burned. And they've discovered a lot of really cool things, like these grasses, for example. The elk, right after the fire, came in and they were feeding on the grasses in the areas that had been burned, because those grasses had much higher values of nutrition and calories and all kinds of different things. So it was kind of a way of seeing that in many ways fire was very beneficial. Found a really cool mushroom here. No idea what sort of mushroom it is. Almost looks like it is as if it's been eaten along the edges. One of the cool things about the Caldera is it has a ton of these montane grasslands, and these grasslands are crisscrossed with dozens of little streams, but they're kind of camouflaged. Did you notice that I'm standing right next to one of them? Let's take a closer look. When the fires did come through, one of the things that scientists were most concerned about were these streams, and especially the fire's impact on fish. There's a lot of brown trout and Rio Grande cutthroat trout and other native fish that live in here. What they found was there was a massive die-off of brown trout, which are actually not really native. And what happened was native fish populations actually rebounded pretty good. But after a couple years, the brown trout population came back up and the native population kind of settled back down. But it's amazing how resilient they were after these fires, because that ash is going to clog up their gills, make it very hard for them to breathe. But so far, so good. So we're out on the trail, coming up to this cabin. I think this cabin was actually used as a movie prop, but real or not, it's very picturesque. So we got a complete video, and this is one we don't have very often. That is prairie dog poop. It's amazing how in just a few short minutes the terrain has changed from grassland to this canyon kind of area. And here's another one of those creeks that I was mentioning. After the fire, scientists counted over 35,000 dead fish. But like I said, they have made a resurgence, and this is still regarded as prime fishing habitat. Do you see the grasshopper in this video? He's right dead center. I don't know what kind of grasshopper that is. Yeah, he gave himself away by moving a little bit. That's some good camouflage. Here's the view from my lunch spot. Beautiful little meadow, an oxbow of the river around it, and there's the trail I came in on. Well, we're just waiting for our lunch to cook, and thought I'd wrap up the video by saying the Valles Caldera is awesome, and I hope the video does it justice. But to really experience it, I highly suggest you get out here and at least drive the loop road, maybe bring your bike, or get out on one of the trails and take a beautiful hike. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.